Hello everyone, we're back. Sorry for the wait. We were just talking about Undizzy. Next up, let's talk about IPS tracking enders on top of tracking starters in the beta that he's testing out. Wing Zero, what do you think about that?
As far as I can say about the new IPS, the only character that I play that I've seen that kind of affects is Valentine. Both Parasol and Philly in the corner. I mean, I can still do Severance, Tier Loop modification. I can still do the Philia combo. But Valentine's majority, the normal Valentine B&B ends with jumping heavy punch in the corner. And now that it tracks Enders, well, Enders and Starters, you kind of have to modify it a bit more. I definitely have to look a little bit more into the lab and see what I can do with her now.
That one other dude, what do you think of the IPS tracking enders?
Well, pretty much like Wing said, like the one hurt by the most is Val. It's like I spend so much time thinking about it. Like I don't know what to do with this character anymore. Like as far as damage goes, and the way Mike implemented it, it doesn't track IPS over DHCs, which is really dumb. I imagine it's oversight. But like once he fixes that, I think for the most part, it'll fix what he wants it to fix, but I'm not sure what we're gonna do with Valentine.
Well, IPS doesn't carry over on DHC, but Undizzy does.
Well, like right now in the beta, there's no Undizzy.
Well, yeah, to test out how far people can push purely purely starter and ender. So TJ, what do you think of IPS tracking enders?
Personally, I'm not too big of a fan of it. I mean, I haven't really tested it yet in the beta, but it seems like the characters that we are kind of used to, like, for example, Valentine, and maybe even Cerebella to a point, coming up with some good combos for them is going to be extremely difficult, in my opinion. I have a hard time thinking of stuff for her to do now.
Yeah. Well, there was this corner combo with Philia that I was able to remodify into like a workable combo, and it's the combo normally does around like 9.1k in the corner, and it goes down to about like 8.5 or 8.4 with the new Undizzy, or not with the new IPS in the beta. So I think it's going to affect some characters more than others. Like I was trying to do a combo with Peacock, and I can't do my universal combo anymore because I used jump medium punch twice in the air. So when I land and go to do like light punch, then it triggers it. So I have to jump and like do hard punch and then use medium punch as my second air finishing move, and then I link into something else. So, but like
Another.
I like I'll just say this. The thing I like about what the new Undizzy does is it helps me think outside the box. It's like, all right, well that won't work now. So like what can I work with and make a new combo. And some people are finding things that do even more damage that they haven't thought about before because they didn't need to. So that's one thing I like about the experiments, that experiment in there. So that one, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I think like it's gonna really limit the scope of combos. Like it seems like because like how strict IPS is now, how strict it is now, that it's gonna pretty much force everyone into like one optimal combo as opposed to like having several optimal combos for a character, just because you're forced into like can't use that ender anymore, so I have to use this one, and so you're gonna have so few ways to use that ender, you know.
But that's kind of the point of like the experiments, to see like how much it can do, how much it hurts characters or helps characters, and if it's actually a good system to use to help make combos less loopy looking. Because right now it's pretty much you start off with your heavies and then you just work your way across from your heavies to your lights, and you get all your damage from your heavies. But with the ender tracking, you have to be more creative on how you do your combos. So it's definitely staggered how it affects other characters across the board. So, okay, what do you guys think are the strongest or weakest teams right now? And like, do you think like what do you think are like popular teams right now?
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
go ahead, Wing Zero.
To answer the question, one of the more popular teams that I'm seeing, I only know 3 people who play it, but it's pretty nasty. That was it. I think you know what team we're talking about. Double Painwheel Philia, aka Team Negus AOL. That that car into Hatred install. Oh, it's really good, but that team is fair. The team is not fair. But yeah, that team it looks to be pretty hot right now. I'm seeing more and more people use double Painwheel. They'll probably be adding Philia to the team too. But hey, if you're just gonna use her for updo, that makes her kind of a liability if she gets put out alone.
Actually, yeah, I've been seeing that a lot too.
But I mean, it's understandable. I mean, it's a really good combination. I mean, look at it this way. Philia SDE, from what she was in vanilla, was crazy. Philia was just godlike. And SDE Painwheel was kind of bad, and now look at Painwheel. Painwheel's powerhouse. So, I kind of like it. I'm not gonna pick up Painwheel or double, no way, because I'm just not interested in the character. But I definitely see some crazy stuff happening with that team, and I look forward to seeing more of it too.
So that one other dude, what do you think are like popular teams or like strong or weak or notable teams that you've seen right now?
Well, as Wing said, I was probably the first person to play against that garbage. Like, it's the worst thing ever. Like, you like car into install. Like, if you get hit by car and he goes into install, you die. If you block it, then you have to hold a mix up. Or like if you dodge car completely, it's still safe. So it's like it's pretty brain dead. But like in the hands of a good player, it's like even worse because they know when to use it. But like there's like really no penalty for it. So like right now, that's probably like the strong. Like just that tactic alone is like ridiculous.
I might say that double car into install, or really just like any super that causes a lot of block stun will work, but the popular one is car to install is analogous to how cat heads was when it was 1 meter with macros.
Yeah.
Where it's just like you just do it and it's safe because you can just
So glad that's gone.
hit it.
So glad it's gone.
So TJ Gamer, what do you think are some popular or notable teams that you've seen recently?
Well, as everyone else is saying, having Painwheel as a second character is always a good team right there. Or having Philia Updo on the back burner is always nice. It's always an annoying threat there. And as far as the things I'm thinking as the teams that people don't think are very good, as of right now, I have to say a team that includes Squiggly, or in probably Peacock, because I don't really see those two being as threatening or as strong as the rest of the cast is at this point.
Squiggly not being strong?
I don't, from what I keep hearing, from what I've seen, she's not as threatening as the rest of the cast.
Yeah.
As of right now.
She seems really underwhelming, but I think part of the reason, well, her tools seem really underwhelming at first glance, and there aren't that many players playing her right now, so it's really hard to say how good she actually is. But I know that Gitalix has been, like, he's been using her the most, so, and he's found like a lot of really cool mix-ups with like level 2 Sing into like whatever.
Gitalix and Yaya Jason have both put in a lot of work with Squiggly and showing what she can really do. Fighting a good Squiggly player is you kind of have to know the mix up very well because like level 2 singing into opera is just it's so good. Or like at the start of a battle where you think you can move off, if they go straight into sing, you're hosed.
Not even sing. I've seen some players use SBO, the opera super, right out round start.
Yeah, right. That's why.
And
sorry.
then and it like catches me. It's like, oh crap, I can't.
I mean, like that's why when I see a squealy on point, like my first instinct is just hold back because you don't know if they're gonna start off with super or not. So it's just it forces you. It makes you think more carefully when she's on point.
For the most part, I haven't seen Squiggly use super at round start that much. But when I know that they will do that option, I kind of block for like a split second at the start of the match. Then I might like up back and call assist or something. So actually, let's talk about like Painwheel and like a bunch of her changes, since we were talking about double car into install. So her install's got a lot of hit stop on it, and her jump hard punch is changed to only one hit as super armor. So, and her combos are still really long even with Undizzy, which I find surprising because
right. I mean, pressure loops. Like how many she can get away with using the Bureau Reaper like 5 times in a row in a combo, and she can corner carry now like nothing. It's just like Painwheel has gotten so much better. Like fighting Negus EOL and who else? Mega Man Dan. Those are two Painwheels I can think of.
her combos got better,
Combos.
but her defense is still pretty bad, and her neutral is kind of mediocre also. But because this is a team game with an assist, so she can use assist to help cover her neutral, and with her install being like having a huge amount of hit stop, she seems really good as a second for that reason. Not necessarily an anchor. I mean, I guess an anchor if you're a two-player team, a two-character team, but she would probably be best on second because of that install, and then you just go off and do your combo and kill them.
Makes sense. I haven't seen a lot of solo Painwheels out because, like you said, her neutral really isn't a lot to be desired. I like to see what Sky King J can do with it since he's a solo Painwheel player. A lot of people have been running solos lately, and it just makes me think, what can this one character do by herself? Like, take away someone's DP assist, and pretty much what are they?
Yeah, the thing about Sky King is that like I think he's PS3 only, and I haven't heard from him in like forever.
Same.
And so yeah, so apparently the install is plus, and it doesn't hit at all. That's kind of silly.
Yeah.
TJ, what do you think of new Painwheel?
Well, to be honest, considering that I used to play a lot with Sky King back on the PS3 when there was still people there playing, so I had quite a bit of experience playing with him, and he's actually a very threatening Painwheel. So I can only imagine playing him now with all the buffs he has. Actually, because I'm one of the few people who doesn't have a DP assist, so I'm a little scared. So I don't know, because I feel like she's extremely good now, and that I mean she needed the buffs, no doubt. It's just I still have to like probably just have a few rounds with Sky King to get like a better analysis. But I don't know. I'm a little scared of her though. I'll admit that.
I'm only really scared of her combos, to be honest. That's the one thing that annoys me. It's like I get hit and it's like, oh no, now I gotta sit through this 30-second combo and die. And while I watch Boer loops all day. But outside of her combos, I feel that like her mix-ups are manageable because she doesn't have a standing overhead at all. So she would have to have an assist that does an overhead or something, because you can pretty much always see when she's gonna go and do an overhead because she has to fly and be in the air in order to do that. But her cross-ups, like the jump medium kick cross-up, is random sometimes. It's like it looks like she's on in front of you, and then it hits you anyway because it's slightly behind you, even though she's like on top of you, and it's like really weird. And her jump hard kick is always good.
Oh yes.
I guess a little bit about Level 2, like with her new flesh step, like her old dash becoming a command dash. Ring?
So from what I can see about that, a lot of players have been using it to their advantage. I'm not a double player, so I can't really speak on how useful it is to me. But I've seen a lot of players using it to get around. I mean, he gave her... It's Parasol's dash, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Parasol's dash is her new normal front forward dash, and Squiggly is her new back dash.
Yeah. I guess it makes doubles neutral kind of good. She can now move... Like, she could run away a little bit better now.
Well, don't forget, you can dash forward and block at the same time.
Oh, gosh.
And you can... So, and with her new dash, she gets to cancel normals out of her dash whenever she
Yes.
wants.
Give the invincible clutch character even more things to do. I really don't have any thought on Command Dash.
What do you think of your characters and how they changed in the PC version? Like Valentine Parasol.
With Valentine, like, do you want MDE without the new IPS?
MDE as it is in retail, because the beta is just like experiments.
Understood.
So, yeah.
Not really much has changed in the case of Valentine. I mean, her combos are still optimized to what they were in SDE.
Valentine's combos.
Yeah, Valentine combos, you're still doing the same corner combo, you're still doing the same mid-screen. I've seen Omni Scythe and Duck Eater do the same corner combo. I've seen Omni Scythe come with some new stuff now, but it all practically looks the same to me. Parasol hasn't really changed that much either. I mean, the new tier combos look absolutely amazing, and she has so many, before she had a lot of mix-up potential, and now she has more.
She has boot loop now.
Excuse me?
The boot loop. Because
yes.
her back hard kick standing overhead was made faster, so now she can use it better in combos.
Yeah, like players like Severin and Issa Volts has come up with a lot of cool stuff for Parasol. I'm still trying to learn the tier combos myself, but I'm still doing like stuff from F2. Like I'm still using Severin's corner tier combo with a little modification to work around on Dizzy. In the case of Philia, I think Philia for me is the one that's kind of changed the most because everyone was still doing the same hairball combo.
Yeah, the hairball combos.
And now, I mean, I find myself still doing the combo that I was doing in vanilla, which is pretty much using her heavy hairball at the end into a super to extend the combo. That's pretty much the only change in Philia. Other than in the corner, you're using a lot more of her fierces to do damage. That's pretty much the only change for her.
What do you think of the bike change for Parasol?
You mean the charge or the super?
The charge, like, so you charge back forward hard kick. So
I
think it comes out faster now, but there's more recovery. And if she gets hit during,
it doesn't even grab.
What?
Personally, I do not like that. I really want it. I really would like the bike to do what it's supposed to do. Like, regardless if she gets hit or not. Like, what's the point of, like, I'd rather just keep them pressured down with, like, Napalm Toss and Napalm Shot, never calling the bike, ever. Because normally in my matchup experience, whenever I call the bike, if I'm fighting a double, I get shot by Luger, and then it's like, okay, well, good one. I just don't see the point of calling the bike. If you're doing it like in a combo, like I've seen some people use the bike to get off of a sniper shot, and it's really flashy looking. It's cool, but I just haven't been able to make use of the bike a lot yet.
it doesn't help us in neutral as much as it used to, because it can get interrupted. But its combo ability I think has been improved because it comes out sooner. So you could do like Napalm Pillar into bike call maybe, like using the OTG.
Possibly. I want to test that.
Alright, so that one other dude, what do you think of how your characters have changed in the PC version?
I really like how Valentine can counter now. That's
Oh,
really good.
oh yeah, how he made it
Cause
0 frame startup.
yeah, cause Valentine's biggest problem is like no reversals, and now if I have 2 meters, I basically have one into a full combo. If I have poison, then it's even better. So that's really good. For Philia, I mean, like I focus more on neutral game than combos, so the fact that her neutral game is relatively the same, I'm fine. I can always learn new combos. And then Sarabella, the only real difference that I had to get used to was only being able to do Concho once, because you only get one wall bounce, and that was weird at first. But overall, it wasn't that hard to move over. My biggest problem moving over was hit stop. So yeah.
TJ Gamer, what do you think of changes that they've made to your characters, like Peacock and Sarabella?
Well,
they made Peacock's air throw be able to combo at mid screen now. Actually,
yeah, I know. That's also the only real good thing about her now that I'm actually really happy about. Because I mean, she used to do a ton of damage with her mid-screen combos from what I've experimented with, and that's pretty cool.
Peacock.
I can do almost 10k with just one bar. It's actually pretty nice. As far as the way it is right now on the PC, not the new experiment.
Mm.
But as far as like Sarabella goes, I'm a little sad. I mean, she's the exact same pretty much, which is nice. And my old combos from the STE used to only have one Concho in it, so it's not a big deal for me. My bigger deal, I guess, is just her damage nerfs, to where she's not as threatening up close anymore to get hit by that low kick. I mean, I know she did a lot of damage before, but I think that's just one of the things that made her so imposing, and now she doesn't really have that anymore. And
You don't think she does enough damage?
well, I mean, I haven't really been able to experiment with new combos just yet to figure out exactly the most she can do. But like carrying on my STE version combo that I made for the PC version with the Undizzy, it decreased by almost 1500k in damage. I was actually kind of surprised. So, I don't know. It just feels like I have to learn new stuff, which has been we all have to with the new version. But I suppose she isn't as threatening as close as she used to be.
What about the item drop changes for Peacock?
In my opinion, it's actually interesting. I feel like if you master that and get really used to it, it could be actually a kind of a boost for her, being able to have an item drop and then still use her Bane for 3 extra hits. I think potentially if you can like, get used to those changes, or I still haven't got to yet, it can actually be kind of a boost for her, probably a buff.
For Peacock, I think it became instead of just holding hard punch item drop all the time, you're mainly holding medium punch because you want to cover their advance. So you would like call medium punch and then like throw bombs at them and then like drop it if they try to get in, or sometimes if they're on the defensive, like they're just waiting for your item drop, sometimes you could just like jump at them and try to get the item drop on it. Especially in the matchup versus Painwheel, where she can't block in the air, so it's kind of iffy. It's like harder, like because Painwheel can still do air super to try to catch Peacock, but like she did like Painwheel doesn't know when Peacock's gonna drop it, and the other thing too is as she holds it, the item gets bigger, so she can tag people from a little bit further away while she's holding it.
Yeah, I won't lie. That actually was one of my favorite things to do in the old version against even Philia or Painwheel, which was to call the item drop in the super, and there's like nothing they could have done about it. Even if Philia did her super in response, yes, Wing Zero knows what I'm talking about. Even if Philia did her super in response, she would still get hit by the item if I just timed it right, and maybe fall down into the super. That was fun. I still might be able to do it, but I mean, I like space myself correctly now with the item drop differences.
I've actually done that a couple times where like I had an item drop out and they do like Gregor like kind of far away, like maybe half screen, and then I drop it and it just interrupts them, so then they just use that meter for nothing.
I love it.
Yeah, so Peacock, like all the people were saying like, oh man, she's so bad now with the item drop change and like the only 2 bombs, but she's actually not that much worse. She's just more fair, like how everyone else is, and how everyone else is becoming.
I think it's just gonna take a lot of time to more so just to get used to her new playstyle. because I used item drop so much in combos, so I still have to get used to using the medium one now instead of the hard version.
Yeah. It depends on like the range. Like for me, like when I do hard kick, standing hard kick, I can usually just do the hard punch item drop because they go so far away. So you might only need to use medium item drop if you're like close range or something.
Oh yeah, the combo I have actually kind of uses it twice in the mid screen, or maybe once. I don't remember.
Mm.
But also I use it for when you do showstopper into the Lenny bomb. I used to have a pretty good combo with that with the heavy item. But I was already able to adapt and learn a new combo with the medium instead. Just pretty much the same thing. That's kind of nice.
So, who do you think are strong characters or weak characters in right now? Wing Zero.
Weak characters.
Who do you think is like really strong and they're really weak? Like
Really strong. I want not trying to be favoritism here. I still think Philia is still very strong. Parasol, she got all her normals got buffed, I believe. So that really helped her out in the damage output because she needed it. In terms of Valentine, the fact that Valentine does not have a reversal makes it very hard for her. She has a lot of offensive potential, but other than that, I mean, once you're locked down, you're kind of locked down. Painwell has definitely improved from what she was in STE. Double has as well. Who else? Squiggly.
you're forgetting Misfortune.
Sorry. Fortune, playing Chaos Muffins, Fortune is still very viable. Like, even without, when people were whining about how Fiber was broken as hell, Fortune is still very viable. The pressure she can put out with the head alone still forces one to play on its toes. So, Fortune, I still want to say she's still very strong. I don't really think anyone would be too weak, other than the fact of Valentine not having a reversal and like her damage output. But other than that, I don't really think a lot of people. I don't really think the characters are weak. It's just a matter of fact that people don't know what to do with them yet, and to like use them to their full potential. I mean, like that's what you do in training mode. You find out what combos work, and you find a character's weaknesses and their strengths, and then you put other characters on your team to cover that weakness. So I wouldn't really want to say that every character has flaws that couldn't do something, but that's why if you can't handle the issue, the flaw that the character handles, utilize an assist like Valentine and Philia. I mean, the fact that Valentine has no reversal, you put Philia on there for DP. Unless you want to whine about that, you say, okay, I don't want to be like everyone else, and you put Hairball on there for combo extension, which is fine. It's just a matter of filling in the gaps, and if you don't want to fill in the gaps, then you have to adapt to that.
I think the general trend with Skullgirls characters is that everyone has really good offense. Some characters have really good neutral, some characters have not so good neutral, but no one's like completely terrible in neutral, and then defense is where it fluctuates the most, from what I can tell. Like Philia is up to, Fortune has Fiber upper, Napalm Pillar for Parasol, and those are like the three main DP assists that people use, and then you have like Peacock's MP Bang, which is only hit invulnerable, and then I swear I'm missing one, but other than that, Double's LK Bomber. That it's a good reversal, but it's not a true reversal because it has those 2 frames of vulnerability on startup, so you can actually meteor her on wake up if you do it properly.
Hornet Bomber is so good because it's a reversal assist and it's an advancing assist at the same time. That's what makes that thing so good.
It's like a reversal lockdown assist. But yeah, so like, and then everyone else has really bad defense because they don't have that invincible special move to use. So I think that's like neutral game and defense are what I think are the determining factors of where you would place characters on a tier list, because everyone has like really good offense. It's just a matter of like figuring it out how to use it properly.
I mean, when you start off with a character, you kind of play them alone. I mean, when I first started playing Valentine, I put her on my team by herself, what she can do, and like her problem was the reversal. She had no way of getting out. At least I couldn't find a way with her. So pretty much you learn a character. This is my philosophy. You learn a character solo first, because let's say like you get snapped back and you get double snap and your DP assist is gone. You're down to that one character. You gotta be able to know all the little nuances of your character and fully use them. A lot of people have been going solo just to get back to that. I know Shin 80 Proof. Oh god, I wish he was in here. He really has stepped up his game a lot by going solo Valentine. He's learned to get around a lot of crap that I used to do when I played that guy. So I think when you start off with a character alone first, you kind of learn all the little nitpicky details you have to do. So when you are in the situation that you're stuck down to that character, that you can totally make a comeback if necessary.
Yeah, I agree. I agree on the learning solo first and then building your team like that. So that one other dude, what do you think are who do you think is like really strong or really weak for characters out of the characters?
Well, in the current meta game, I'd probably put Squiggly as the weakest. I mean, we're not really seeing much from that character. Well, I think like her biggest problem is mobility, because I mean she has like long-reaching normals, but she can't really. If I get hit by her jump heavy kick, nothing happens. Like I don't care if I get hit. So
I think you mean her jump hard punch.
yeah, jump hard punch. My bad. But like nothing really happens. So she like kind of has to just stand her ground and like try to play defensive, and eventually she's either gonna get pushed back or hit. So that's why I'd probably put her as the weakest character. As far as the strongest character, I think that's really hard to say. Just picking one character.
Oh no, like list. Make a list. Not just one strongest and one. Like who do you think are the group of strongest and group of weakest?
Well, like it's hard to say. Like, but I mean, like just picking, cause like it's a team game, you know. So like double pain wheel is like incredibly strong right now, but I wouldn't necessarily say either one of them is the strongest character, you know. But like double pain wheel is really good. Philia Cerebella is really good. Valentine Philia is really good. And like most of the cast is like pretty viable. Like I don't think any characters really shine above the rest that much. I'd probably put Peacock at the lower end, just because not many people are playing her and no one's used to the changes yet. But I don't think she's like bad or anything. So I think overall, like it's a pretty good spread about who's good and who's not. Yeah.
So TJ Gamer, who do you think are the strongest or weakest, or like which one? What do you think?
I still think that Philia and Double are probably the topper characters of the group. I mean, they're just really good on point. They offer so much when they're assist characters. And on top of that, I still think that Misfortune and Valentine are just like, they have so much going for them as far as offense or lockdown, that I can just imagine what Gooch Alex can still do with Misfortune and Chaos Muffins. I can only I don't like going up against Misfortune. So as far as like the lower characters though, I would say Parasol's still kind of in the middle region. I think she's doing better now, but like still like in the middle center, probably around with Cerebella, how I would put it. But then the bottom, I still put Squiggly last because she is the newest. People haven't really gotten used to her, and she has a hard time approaching. And I feel that Peacock's still probably, in my opinion, the second worst. I mean, her offense isn't as great as some characters. Her reversal isn't that useful. I mean, just compare it to Valentine, who has much better offense and mix-ups.
Yeah,
but Peacock just has a slightly better reversal.
Peacock has a reversal though with.
I know, but it's not that good. I mean, if you're cornered against Philly or Valentine, even Misfortune, your reversal's not going to really help you at all.
Actually, I find her reversal is more useful when she's in the corner, because that means that she can't get crossed up. And that's the really the one of the ways that it gets beat out is that you just cross up Peacock, who's doing MP bang, and then it just whiffs entirely, and you just hit her.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a very vertically reaching reversal, so it's not gonna be like it's not obviously it's not as good as like Napalm Pillar or whatever. So, but it's like it's something. It's definitely a lot better than her old LP bang that she used to use.
It is true, but I still say she has the weakest reversal with the group. On top of that, her offense is more about left and right, not so much like low and throw. Because I mean, she has like I think the slowest low in the game, her crouching middle kick. I don't know. I just feel like her offense isn't as powerful as it used to be, or I mean, probably a little bit better. But I mean, her offense still doesn't compare to the higher characters. And with her, even with her minor nerfs to her keep away, the fact of the matter is that she was able to keep away certain characters who knew what they were doing or how to move with their characters. Like Philly and Valentine actually get in on her very easily. And now since she can't really compete with their offense, I don't know. I just feel like it's not everything's in her favor.
Well, I mean, her crouching leg kick is disjointed, and Philia's jump hard punch, I think the hitbox was on the bottom was removed, so it's really easy to like anti-air Philia doing like almost anything with Peacock. And I think Peacock's offense is actually pretty good. It's just no one bothers doing it because she's a zoner. You have full screen all the time anyway. Like, because, so like, with things you can do, because you have bombs and item drop and jump medium kick to like keep them in place and do mix-ups, and like when you call assist, it keeps them there even longer. So I think she does pretty well in the offense department, but because she's a zoner, so she's always like full screen anyway, you want to be away from people as much as possible, it's not really used or done that much.
Perhaps, but like I said, against certain characters, she just can't really keep them away. I mean, I have plenty of experience against that, against like Ducketer and even that one other dude. It's pretty hard to keep Valentine and Philia away.
Yeah.
Even with less bombs now.
Yeah, for sure. Those.
So personally, for me, I probably wouldn't stick to a full keep away. I mean, I never am like that except against like maybe Parasol or Double. We can't really do much anyways against zoning.
Well, Double's got Car.
True, but I only really fear that if they have a DHC to go into, or if I can die from getting hit by it.
Mm. So, what are, I guess, similar to the previous thing we were talking, what are some troublesome matchups that you guys deal with? That one other dude. Or actually, TJ Gamer, you go.
Okay. Well, like I just said, with Peacock against Philia or Valentine, it's not fun. I mean, especially for me, because I don't run a DP assist. I use lock and load. And
That's kind of a DP assist. Kind
of, but it doesn't help me as much as you would like it to. I mean, sometimes I kind of would like to run Devil Horns instead, but it doesn't really help my mix-ups and stuff.
Devil Horns is a bad DP. I actually forgot about it when we were talking about DPs.
Yeah, but
the reason why it's bad is because the hitbox is like way more inward towards her, whereas all the other DPs are more like outward toward the opponent. So otherwise, it would be a really good DP. It's just the hitbox moves out of the way, so you can usually just evade it by sitting there.
I can only tell you the amount of times I've been on Cerebella on point and used that, and the opponent's right next to me, not blocking or anything, and they don't get touched by it.
Yeah.
So
that one other dude, what troublesome matchups do you play against, like, or have you seen recently?
Well, obviously Double Painwheel, just because even if I'm winning the neutral game or something, like once they build up 2 bars, they can just super, and either they're gonna hit me, I'm gonna block it, and then have to hold that. But besides that, Parasol, like when I'm Valentine, Parasol has always been somewhat of a problem because of jump jab. It just stops everything. But it's not necessarily a bad matchup. It's just a harder matchup. And besides that, I don't have that many bad matchups really.
Parasol also has jump light kick too. Because sometimes you can jump over her jump light punch. because it's more downward, but like she has jump light kick too that she can. That's a really fast air poke.
Well, I have yet to face the wrath of that. All I know is jump life punch just destroys everything.
Alright, so Wing Zero, what troublesome matchups have you fought?
Like that one other dude, the one matchup. There's two actually. It's double pinwheel, and the other one is still Parasol Peacock. I don't know why that matchup is still a pain in the butt to fight for me. Anytime I deal with it, I always just find myself DHCing the affiliate as soon as possible. Because getting in on Peacock has kind of become a little bit more difficult unless you have level 3 for roaming cancel and free mix-up. So other than that, I haven't really come across a lot of bad matchups on PC. So.
Alright, so I guess I'm gonna ask you as a final thing. What do you think the current state of the Skullgirls metagame is? So like, what direction do you think the game is going? And include the beta changes, like if they get included, like with ender tracking or like multiplying on dizzy on tracked moves. So like, what do you think of the Skullgirls metagame, and like, what do you think the direction it's going in terms of like combos or combo length and how people play? Go ahead, Wing. Actually.
Okay, in terms of the Skullgirls metagame, I kind of think it's going in terms of shorter combos and more resets. This is going to exactly where Mike wants it to go. At least that's what I think. Pretty much the whole thing is that I can understand why you want someone to do shorter combos. SDE was a huge revelation for me on the thought of all the combos that people were doing. Like, think Severin's Raw Tag, for example. That was amazing. Like, it broke IPS, was just, whoa, how did you even make that possible? And I mean, it went from Parasol to Filia to double, and it took like, what?
Like a minute and a half or something.
A minute and a half and like all of your health if you were running a 3-on-3. And it was just, wow, how did you come up with that?
The kicker was it was meterless. Because you just tag.
That was also another thing, and did it build meter very well too?
Well, you didn't use meter, so it built meter.
I know. I'm trying to think at the end of like the full raw tag. How much meter would you have? You have like 3 to.
You probably have 5 bars in SDE. You probably have like 5 bars.
Gosh, and I mean, not only that, but like the whole reason with SDE and now MDE, like on Dizzy and like the new IPS, is that we want combos to be shorter. I mean, and people are coming up with new, flashy, innovative ways for things. I mean, think of Mega Man DS's Moon combo, God forbid. Like
Moon combo?
Yeah, the Take Me to the Moon or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Where he'd double snap you and he'd stomp you all the way up to where the combo, the camera couldn't even see, but he'd end up coming out with like 5 bars. It was flashy, but like, is it really worth giving someone 5 bars? Like, is it really worth for a double to come with 5 bars and level 5 you to death? I don't think so.
Actually, yeah, but I think only the defender gains meter now when you do a double snap, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, in terms of the Skullgirls metagame, it's basically going towards shorter combos. People are still going to find what combo works the most, and they're going to try and alter that to whatever, like, little pet peeve or little change that they have to do to make that combo optimized. So that's what I see it.
Well, I mean, combos are obviously going to get shorter, but do you think maybe people will actually start doing more resets, or do you think people are just going to do one long combo into, like, an Oki situation and then try to get another long combo?
That has kind of been the norm. If you've noticed about the way people play, is that they don't do resets at random. They do resets at a certain point. They'll try to do their combo to the lowest they can, and then they'll do a reset, and because they want to get the most out of their combo. But with the fact that Undizzy is now when it stays where it is, resetting randomly and constantly is probably the way to go at this point, or just end your combo.
So that one other dude, what do you think of the current state of the Skullgirls metagame, and like what direction do you think it's going in?
I'm not really sure. I don't even think Mike knows. Like, there's so many changes, and well, I mean, obviously he wants shorter combos, and
actually, let me bring this to light. Don't forget about absolute guard and push block guard cancel. 2 things that a lot of people don't do that could change the meta game if people actually started doing it regularly?
Well, I think a lot of the higher level players do use that stuff, so because that's why I don't think mashing supers needs to be as good as it is. I mean, we have push block guard cancel, we have push block, we have absolute guard, and we have alpha counters. So defense, you have options. So
What were you gonna say
I,
about combos?
oh yeah, I think they're gonna get shorter. I always think we're gonna go for the most damage you can get, and then a reset, just because that's the efficient way to go. You're gonna want to get the most out of everything. So you're gonna have it set up to where you can get a lot of damage, and then you reset them to get a lot more damage. It's just how much damage is Mike gonna let us get before we have to reset. I think that's just the way people like to play.
Actually, I was talking about an idea I had for I was talking in the IRC about ways to change how your starter affects your combo. And my idea was, what if your starter changed the minimum damage on your on your damage correlation? So it's like if you start with like a heavy move, then it increases like so right now it's 27.5% for 1000 above damage and 20% for below. What if those values were increased 10 and subtracted 10% for heavies if you start with like a heavy or start with a light respectively?
I mean, I wouldn't be against it. I mean,
Well, because we are saying that like combos just aren't really gonna like people aren't really gonna stop doing their long combos as long as they can to get all the damage out of it and then just try to reset at the end or do an Oki situation. But I'm wondering how that would get affected if the starter actually kind of mattered and it changed how much damage you did, so people couldn't just like do full damage combos off like a crouching leg kick.
well, I'd imagine people would still do most of their combos off a crouch leg kick just because that's the most viable way, as opposed, like, I mean, landing like raw launcher or something is pretty rare. So people would still learn their crouching leg kick as their starter just because it's the most versatile, it's the most useful way to start a combo, just because it's a low as opposed to a mid. So I don't think it would change combos really. It would just reward you for starting with something else, I think.
Well, the idea isn't to change combos. It's change how people behave and how people like decide on how long they want to go in the combo. Because you guys are saying that like all people are just gonna mainly do the long combos or they're gonna do like really short resets. But if every combo starts with a crouching leg kick, then you're gonna be losing out on damage because, like, for example, my idea would be like, so let's say the minimum damage would be 10% on moves under 1,000, and it would be only 17.5% moves above 1,000. So the longer that combo went, you'd be giving all that meter to your opponent, but you wouldn't be doing that much damage. Or as opposed to like, if you wanted to try to do a mid-sized combo and try to reset with like a heavy to get like bigger damage, then that I think that might affect how people think of how they do combos and not just be like, oh, I'm just gonna do full combo with the Oki all the time.
Maybe. I don't know.
I think it might promote people to punish with their heavies instead. Because I mean, like if I have like a Philia who does like a super in front of me and I block it, generally I'm gonna punish with my light kick. But if we were under like World instead, I'll probably go with like use my medium and heavy attacks to punish people more often. To kind of, because that's how I see what if we had that kind of a change.
Wing Zero.
It does affect how,
Sorry. What were you saying, TJ?
Oh, I was saying it just probably just affect how people punish.
What do you think, Wing?
Pretty much in the terms of what you punish with. Think like if Cerebella's coming with you on Diamond Dynamo and you block the entire thing. You don't punish by starting off with a light move. You punish by starting off with a like launcher, like your Valentine, let's say. Like it makes more sense. Like I think it's just become the norm to start to punish with heavy moves first and start your combos with heavy moves. That's the way we've been playing SG for the longest time. Like I think is you start off with heavies, and you work your way down to your lower, the lighter moves to extend your combo. But now with the changes, those don't work anymore. You have to find different, more innovative ways to use your combos, and it's going to force people to think, or it's going to force you to do more resets. Those are your only two options at this point.
Not only that, but like with the counter hit change, that
Yes,
increases
that-
damage. So can you imagine a heavy move
I hate
with
getting
counter
hit
hit
when-
damage that has a higher minimum damage scaling?
Oh gosh, and like, oh man, the counter hit is when Mike showed me that, or showed us a selfie. It was just like, okay, so really be careful, know when to block, don't try to mash at all, or else you're probably going to get punished and it's gonna hurt. Especially fighting someone like Sarabella who will get you with Titan Knuckle when you're trying to do. I remember I was fighting Van Camaro and he was running solo Sarabella and I did Napalm Shot and he punched me with Titan Knuckle the entire match, and I was just like, "Oh, that's so annoying." It's good, but it just takes some getting used to, like anything in a fighting game, though.
Isn't Cerebella's lock and load hard punch? Doesn't that do like 3k on counter hit?
I have no idea actually.
Because I think it does like
3K.
something like 2k on normal hit.
It's 1800,
Oh yeah,
No.
there you go, 1800.
and it's
Whoa.
50% extra on counter hit.
So it'd be an extra 900 damage.
That'd be 2700.
That's nasty. So if you were trying to punish Sarabella when they were in the lock and load and armor pulled all the way through, you would be
Yeah, so
That
you
was-
could do lock and load, and then punish with super and a DHC.
Wait, is counter hit only on the point characters on assist too? So
I'm
you lock and load for an assist.
not sure.
And
No,
trying to punish it. Or not punish it, but you're trying to stop the armor, break the armor.
are you asking if assists can get counter hit and get that extra damage bonus?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
like
That's-
if an assist gets hit?
No, I'm asking if the assist gets the hit or gets the counter hit.
Oh,
Does it-
I think in all cases, if whatever hits, like if the defender gets counter hit, that move will be increased.
Wow, okay. That definitely makes some assist a lot more useful.
But I'm not sure if assists getting counter hit also do the same. I would imagine yes, though.
I definitely have to look at that. That's very interesting. It makes some assists a lot more dangerous than they already are. I mean, damage is always a problem in any fighting game, but now that counter hit is put in, if you catch yourself making a mistake and like you're trying to punish someone or go for a move and they hit you with a super, it's just going to really mess you up at this point. You have to. I think with this change, it's forcing you to play a lot more safe too. I mean, like fighting someone who mashed super. Like I remember fighting Rikers, and when he would go straight into level 3 in the corner, it was just amazing. And now that Mike put in counter hit, I'd really want to see what doubles level 3 could do off counter hit. That probably really messed the character. So I really want to go to the lab now and test some of this.
So, just to formally ask you, TJ, what do you think is the current state of the Skullgirls metagame, and what direction do you think it's going in?
I mean, as everyone else has said, it's going down the road of shorter combos, which is fine. But I just hope that they don't restrict it to the point where everyone's doing the exact same combo because they're going with something else to go for. That's just my biggest fear, really. But as far as the direction the game's going in, I kind of don't like what's happening to the PS3. I mean, I'm PS3 only, and I can't really play the PC version. And whenever the patch finally does come, everyone's gonna go back to Big Band and just like, I don't know. It just seems that the consoles are gonna be kind of deserted for a while, and I don't really like that.
You're worried.
No, we're gonna come back. Sorry for interrupting, but TJ, we're gonna come back. A lot of people. Personally, I do not like the PC version because there are a lot of factors that contribute to lag in this game on PC.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for the PC the PS3 patch to drop. I can't wait for it. Like there are a lot of players that I miss. Like I really want to fight you for one, Ken and Black, and then that one other dude too. I mean, and Winnie. Like there's a lot of people who can't play right now because PC is an issue. So the second things get settled away with Live Zero and Konami, the better. That's alright. I just wanted to assure you that a lot of people are going back to PS3.
Like, I don't think that the PS3 is going to be as deserted as you think when the new patch drops with like the squiggly and all the updates, because then it'll be congruent with the PC version, and the PC version is not supposed to be updated. It's supposed to be the same as all the other versions, right? To make sure like everything's even, and then that way it's a matter of choice between like what platform you like. But on PC you have the beta, and I think that the beta would be only to like experiment with stuff and like to try out Big Band. But I don't think that's going to take away from the PS3 or like other consoles, or I guess PS3 or Xbox, as long as they have the patch updated. And me too, like Wing Zero was talking about online. I think like PC netplay is way more chaotic and random and volatile than PS3, because every computer is different, every configuration is different. People have, well, I mean, I guess people have different connections on PS3 also, but because of the PC factor where everyone's got something different, it causes much more problem. It causes many more problems. Whereas on PS3, everyone has the exact same hardware, so it seems like the PS3 netplay would be much more consistent. So I'm kind of looking forward to the PS3 patch also, because then you can just like play and it probably won't be as bad, and it'll also be better for tournaments because then it's all the same hardware. People can just plug in their sticks and like do whatever, and you don't have to deal with extra software to make sure all the other controllers work properly.
I miss Skullbats so much. Like, Skullbats, no. PS3 Skullbats, yes. Can't wait for that to happen. God. Like I think a thing that really helps people improve is grinding up against players. I really think that where I learned to fight better was fighting against everyone in Skullbats every weekend. Like, if you've never entered in any tournament where you fought someone near your level, it really helps to find someone and compete with them. I mean, like, you don't gotta do money matches, Negus. You don't gotta do money matches, but like, it really helps to improve when you fight someone who's near your level and you fight them constantly. You really improve that way. A lot of players, like, seeing certain things, like recently at Super, kind of opened my eyes to as in what has happened to the people who play this game. And the fact that when we were at Super Arcade and Chris G and Fnatic joined, the fact that Chris G was kind of destroying our guys at Super kind of hit me hard as to why are we losing to someone who does not play this game. It just hit to me like, what's going on here? And it was people were getting hit by DP assists. So I'm like, okay. And like what was pulling Chris G through was his fundamentals. Like he's doing stuff from vanilla, and yet he was still beating the tar out of people, which was just amazing to me. I really think that a lot of players have stepped up, but I really, that just kind of hit home for me. I mean, I really don't like to see people lose to someone who does not play the game. It's baffling to me.
I think that says something about Skullgirls, though, that people that good people who have good fundamentals and understand the intricacies of fighting games can still dominate in Skullgirls, because
apparently so.
Yeah, because it's so balanced that it facilitates that like always the best players are gonna shine, because they just know what to do.
It really leaves much to be desired. I really hope people step up a bit, because when we were at Super, I was like, someone please stop Chris G before I have to. And when Shin finally took down Chris G, I just went, thank you. Someone took him down. Thank you. Because it irks me. I'm sorry. It just does. Like, I'm sorry. It's just baffling me how that happened. And I really look forward to see how people are going to step for this. I really hope they do step up. I really, in terms of how they say we're a dead game, we're not a dead game. I mean, we do have a community. Maybe we don't show up a lot of tournaments because there are several things where people cannot go to a tournament. So I'm not calling anyone out on that. This game is not dead.
It's spread out.
It,
Everyone's too far spread out to go to like any tournament, anyone in any specific area. It has to be a really big tournament where everyone can come from all over. Because there isn't enough. Sorry.
Evo was the one thing where I saw a lot of the Skullgirls community pull together. I mean, at SoCal Regionals, there was about 21 of us. At Evo, there was 170 plus.
Yeah.
It's still, that is amazing for me. I was really happy at Evo to see so many members of the SG community actually show up and participate. So, oh gosh. Okay.
I guess let's take. Well, actually, one more thing. What are some techniques that you think people should know about that would help them improve, or like what do you think people should do to help improve themselves?
Definitely push block guard cancel, because you have put up a bloody guide on how to do that. So, I mean, push block guard cancel, absolute guard, all these things that would help your defense so much, I do not see people do. The only people I see do push block guard cancel are Mike Z, Shin80 Proof, you, and Geet to Alex. Those are the only 4 people I see use that technique. And
I think Omni does too, and Ducky.
Maybe I just didn't see it, but I have not been seeing a lot of people use those techniques. For people who Skullgirls is your first fighting game, push block guard cancel is a technique that was from other fighting games. I didn't know about push block guard cancel until like during SCR when Shin kind of introduced it to me a little bit. I really hope I see a lot of people use these techniques more. Absolute guard is useful. Push block guard cancel is so useful. I mean, you insert a move while your opponent is attacking you. How good is that? It's like an alpha counter, except you do not waste a bar. And you don't tag out. But it's just so useful, and I really hope that a lot of people start using these techniques. What other techniques can you really learn how to do? I can't really think of anything else other than those 2, like in terms of defense.
That one other dude, what do you, like, I guess whoever wants to go first, like, what techniques do you think, or what do you think people should be doing to help improve their game?
The thing that I do that I think people should do is, like, sometimes when they, like, just go into an online match, just try to block. Like, just, like, basically, like, fight your opponent until, like, they start attacking you and just try to block, because as good as your offense is, you need defense too. Like, defense is so good. I mean, no matter how good the opponent's offense is, if they can't hit you, then they can't win. So, like, a thing I do sometimes is just, like, I'll go into a match and just block for how long I can. Like, you don't have, like, online matches don't matter that much. So, like, it doesn't matter if you lose. So, like, sometimes you just go in there and, like, focus on something you need to improve on. I think blocking is, like, a big one.
TJ Gamer, what are some things that you think people should know about that would help them improve their game?
Well, for one, push block guard canceling is good. I remember back at Evo when I was on with Cerebella, actually won me 1 or 2 matches, being able to diamond drop out of block strings. And as far as one thing I noticed that some people just don't do, or that they do, is that they give up very easily. As far as, like, when they're their last character, only a sliver of health left, and, like, the opponent has, like, full 3 characters of life, and they just stop but you kill them. I remember back in the SDE versions, Peacock was considered the worst character by herself, and yet against so many people like Cisco Kid, even Ducketer, my Peacock with, like, not even 1,000 HP left can take out all 3 characters at once. It's just I feel like just, like, not giving up, and you'll be surprised with what your last character can do sometimes.
So, like, defense is, like, a big thing that like people should be doing to help improve the game. Actually, I think so too, because like Wings are, like, there's rarely anyone that's out there that actually does, like, push block guard cancel or, like, absolute guard. Absolute guard's especially useful for blocking mix-ups, because then It blocks the mix-up for you. So like you know when the mix-up's gonna happen, but if you absolute guard, you don't have to guess. So that's like definitely really helpful.
One other thing I want to add is dealing with DP assists. A lot of people complain about updo, pillar, and everything else. That's perfect. And napalm, hornet bomber is another thing. Hornet bomber is a lot better than updo or napalm pillar, which I fail to see people complaining about that. But it's just the fact. It's as simple as going in and baiting the assist. And then again, think of it this way: unless they're like really good with that character they're using the assist for, then they're most likely just playing Philia or Parasol or double for the assist. You can snap them and deal with it. I just really want people to stop complaining about DP assists. I mean, you can get around them.
The thing
Yeah.
I want to say for that is a good way to bait DP assists is to, like, when you see it come out, you jump, like, right before it comes out, because when you land, your block stun is cancelled. And a lot of people don't know about that also. Like, they figure that you're still in block stun, so you can actually just catch people off guard while they're dashing towards you and get a happy birthday.
Along those lines, like a thing that I do and very few other people do is counter calling. Like they call their assist, you call your assist. Like I usually counter call Sarabella because they call updo and then I block it and I call Sarabella. Then their assist is getting messed up and they're in block stun, have to hold a mix up. So counter calling is something that people should do more often.
So I guess that was like mainly about defense, but what about in neutral? Like, what do you think people are doing or not doing in neutral that would help them like do better at like getting hits?
I think it comes down to character specific at that. I mean, like in terms of Philia, she's the only tool she really has for neutral game is Rig with Spire or Rig with Spike. I think it really comes down to character specifics at that point. I mean, Valentine has Dead Cross, Parasol has napalm shots, Peacock has everything. I think it's really character specific at that point in terms of neutral game.
Those are projectiles, but like for Philia, her jumping light punch has no vulnerable boxes in the attack box itself.
I mean, you can use it like Duck Eater uses Valentine's jumping light as like a fuzzy guard for when you're coming down. But other than that, oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
But like, yeah, like because it's fast and it's like disjointed. What a thing I like to do is like I like to jump up and use light punch on them and like chain into another move. Kind of like the most notable example of this is Parasol jump light punch to jump hard punch. So like, yeah, so you do jump light punch, jump hard punch, and because of the buffer time for chains, it will automatically chain into the next move after whether it's blocked or it hits. So I take the same concept with Philia and I do jump light punch into jump medium punch, and then I can like air dash in and like do other moves, and basically I get to start my pressure by doing that air to air with jump light punch.
Like another lot of thing people forget about the Parasol matchup is most likely Parasol's air normals are very dominant. I mean, you see every time you fight a Parasol player, they're most likely going to be either using jumping heavy punch or jumping light into jumping heavy punch. If they're going in with jumping light and jumping heavy punch, what a lot of people don't realize is, unless they're holding back after that, like say you're fighting a Parasol player who comes in with jumping light into jumping heavy, if you rush in and you block both the light and the heavy, you touch the ground before Parasol does. If they're not blocking, if the Parasol player is not blocking at that point, they can get punished.
After the jump light punch hard punch?
Yes, a lot of players don't seem to realize that. Like that's one of the Parasol 101 rules I kind of came up with is that after you do that, you block. If they block that whole setup right there, you make sure that you block because you can get punished after it if they're mashing light. So a lot of players complain about that. It's just another little pet peeve that I wanted to throw out there.
So wait, so who could get punished for mashing?
Parasol, if you jump in with what they have to do as Parasol, because most players go from jumping light punch to jumping heavy punch, right?
Mm-hmm.
What you do is you rush in and you block both the jumping light to the jumping heavy.
While you're in the air.
Yes, while you're in the air, and you touch the ground before Parasol does. If Parasol is not blocking, then she can automatically get punished.
Or you could just punish her outright by hitting her while she's still in the air. But
True. Well, a lot of players who start off with Parasol just rely on her air normals being that dominant, and they forget to think that, hey, I can get punished at this precise point. And a lot of players don't realize that, so they try to go in and try to continue to move, and it's like, no, you can get hit right here. And so I just wanted to throw that out there to let people know that there is ways to get around things like that. Like a lot of things that people abuse, there's normally a way to get around it. You just have to think about it a lot more than you already are.
except now with her new air tier change,
Mm-hmm.
she
Yeah.
can cancel. So she can do jump, light punch, hard punch, air tier, and cancel into light punch. So then it's much less punishable. So
Yeah.
in order to punish it, if you land before she does that, you'd have to do like Philia updo or something.
Right, but a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people don't go straight into teardrop. The only person I've seen doing that technique is Cannon Black, and he's been doing that since SDE. So I haven't really seen a lot of that. So we'll see. I mean, like it all depends on the player and what they're used to. Like the only player I've seen using like raw tier toss in the air is Cannon Black when level assist is running for more pressure, which was awesome because no one else does it, and it's so good. So
Severin does it too.
I'm sorry if I'm not giving shoutouts to people giving credit where credit is due. I'm just going based off of what I've seen recently. But yeah, there's a lot of more potential that people can do. They just haven't done it yet. So Skullgirls is ever changing at this point, and so try to keep up.
All right, so I guess let's start taking questions from the viewers now. Does anyone have any questions they want to ask? I saw one earlier by F. Wiley. Yeah. What would happen if there was something out there to hone in on that, on the fundamentals? Could you clarify that, please?
Excuse me?
F. Wiley asked a question earlier, and I found it. But I'm asking him to clarify. You asked a question earlier, asking Wing Zero, what would happen if there was something out there to hone in on that, the fundamentals? So I'm just asking, can you clarify that, please?
Do you mean like a guide on fundamentals? Fundamentals are something that you gain by having experience. Like, you can read a guide as many times as you want, but it basically comes down to fighting and playing the game. Like, if that's what you're talking about, a guide, something talking with fundamentals, it basically comes down to fighting experience.
It's kind of hard to pin down fundamentals because it has to do with knowing what to do at the right time. So you have to know when to block, when to use DP, and when to like go in, or like when to do a mixed up, or like just stuff like that. And I think a lot of it is just like the neutral game, right? And spacing and making sure that your opponent can't hit you while you're trying to get hit, and that's what creates footsies. So, like, it's a pretty complex topic.
There's a new updo assist change?
The different damage and the startups.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the new updo? Wait, specifically updo assist or just updo?
Wait.
Negus.
Oh wait, is this one? Wait, does it do like when she's on point? It does multiple hits.
Yeah. Like her updo was changed so that it does 3 hits if you hit it on the first frame, or like the first hit. And actually, I think the hitbox changed also, so that the first hit on medium and hard are like lower, and the light punch is like pretty much the same. So I've actually been using light punch updo more often than I have using hard or medium, because the first hit is so low that I end up becoming vulnerable as I go up.
Yeah, a lot of people. Never mind, still reading. A lot of people just use jumping heavy punch updos because it's kind of the norm. It's what they see everyone else doing. And like the reason I started using it is because it kind of gives you more time to convert off of it. But like light updo works just as well. I mean, you just have to be a little bit faster. And plus, it kind of saves Philia unless it gets blocked, because Philia is up there for like a long time and can get punished. Updo assist. No, like MP assist does more damage than HP. Oh, that's pretty sick. I think LP does more damage too. Oh, so he's rewarding you for using the lighter updos. That's pretty cool. And then you can still convert off of it, so I don't really think it'd be that much of a big deal. I mean, you
Always
just have,
use light punch.
yeah, I noticed you always do that. I really don't.
Oh, I
huge
think I
change.
know what he's asking.
What?
Because if you don't hit with that first hit, and because he made the multi-hit, so the longer it's out, then the later hits will do less damage. So it does. So the hard punch does a cumulative amount that adds up to 1500, as opposed to just doing a solid one hit 1500. So if you hit it at like the top, then it'll do like 400 damage or something. Whereas light punch is a solid 800 damage. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so I think that's might be what he's changing, because what he's asking about, because the medium and hard versions will do less damage the higher up it is. So I think the hard is 400, the medium is 500, and the light is 800 because it's only one hit.
That's pretty cool. I mean, personally, I don't have any problems with that change. I mean, as long as Updo does its job and gets them off you, I'm perfectly fine with it. I mean, he was even experimenting with things like trying to make the assist not as good. Like even thought about taking away Updo's knockdown, which you can still convert off of it, but you have to be like ridiculously fast. So like it's that change doesn't really make a difference for me. It just doesn't.
Actually, I just thought of something. What do you think of assists scaling to 50% on assist hit starter?
I like it.
I don't like it.
Why don't
I
you
don't
like
know.
it?
Because, like, well, I mean, it's pretty much just I don't think it's a problem with the game. It's just I would like to do more damage. Like, I think it's fine. Like, as far as the game actually goes, it's just I would like to do more damage, so I don't like it.
TJ, what do you think?
I think it's kind of nice, but I mean, I'm not 100% on it, mostly because I abuse Lock and Load Assist into Peacock Teleport mix-up so much. And it's going to suck just for the fact of doing almost no damage after that. But, I mean, I feel like it doesn't need to be nerfed. I mean, if it is nerfed, I feel like the best use for it is just for taking Philly's assist down a peg a little bit, which is nice because everyone converts off that like nothing. But so I don't know. I'm kind of in the middle. I feel like I have to play with it in order to be more like know my answer more.
Well, I like it because it's kind of silly to get like a full damage combo off of your main neutral game tool, because a lot of people use DP assists because they're so good that like you get it and then you just do a full combo. So I think it makes sense to have the assist scale to 50%.
It's pretty good because it also picks on people who do nothing but rely on DP assist and don't go in at all. I mean, Black hasn't made this game like BB where you get punished by not moving in if you're like heavy on neutral. Because like when I think fighting games, I think, okay, why aren't you going in at all? Like, in at all? It's okay to be neutral, but I mean, like I'd rather just my personal fighting style is, hey, I'm playing a rushdown character. I'm gonna get up in your face and mess you up. That's pretty much what it comes down to for me. And now that the fact that he's pretty much like nerfed DP assist really doesn't bug me because I've never really used those to get into my combos in the first place. If situationally it does happen, like, hey, I can totally get a free combo off of this, I'll take it. I mean, who wouldn't? But like, it doesn't really bug me at all. So you do less combos. I mean, well, look at this. So you do less damage. Look at it this way. The way the game is going, you're gonna have to do mix up or reset at this point. So it all shifts more to shorter combos. It's pretty much what I'm getting at.
It kind of screws me over with Seracopter because it already scales the combo, and now it's gonna scale the combo even more. So like the damage afterwards is gonna be like abysmal. So that kind of sucks.
But maybe it'll have higher damage scaling if, like, let's say my idea was taken into account. So like special moves do like higher damage scaling or something. then it might not be as bad.
Well, like, I mean, I think it's fine for DP assist specifically because like that just makes sense to me. But like multi-hitting assists are like just gonna get destroyed by it. Like if it was specific to certain assists, then
Like maybe
I
just
guess
the DP assists,
yeah,
like up
DP
to the
assist makes
pillar.
sense. Yeah.
I can see that.
One question I want to ask you guys. I know no one in here plays solo or whatever, but what do you think of meter carryover on solo battles?
I'm fine with it. It makes sense.
I thought it would do it when I first played a solo battle, and I was kind of sad that it didn't.
I like the
So,
idea.
I like it.
It's fun because you do get all your meter at the start of the match. But I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. Fighting Ninja Nutria with 5 bars for Argus is a pain in the butt to deal with. I'm not gonna lie. Just fighting here with 5 Argus is like, okay, hey, I have 5 bars to the super. I can just chip you to death. Like, oh gosh. It's I really don't have a problem with it at all. I just want to know what you guys thought about it. Because some characters can really use that to their advantage.
I feel like it adds a bit more strategy because, like, towards the end of a round before, you'd be like, well, I'm not going to have this meter anyway, so I'm just going to waste it. But now you think maybe I should save it.
Yeah, like it makes sense because like when you're not solo, like when you kill a character, you still have all your meter, right? And you pretty much never see level 5s in solos because the meter doesn't carry over. You can barely build level 3 levels, so you could pretty much just get one level 3 off per round, and it's like that's done, and that's it, and you have to reset. So like, I kind of like how the meter carries over because it makes sense with the other like the other team ratios, and it allows
Well,
it allows more access to more supers.
true. Like with Dewey, does it? Well, it doesn't really make a lot of difference because look at it this way: if you're playing online, you can't really tell if your opponent's picking a solo character and you pick a solo character. So all the matches is going to be one set, correct?
Yeah, one
It's
best 2 out of 3 rounds.
It's only going to be one round, so you're not going to get all that meter you're saving over for.
No,
So-
but solos are 2 rounds per game.
Right, I know, but I'm saying like in terms of online, like quick match or something.
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah, so it didn't seem very influential to me. But hey, I mean, in solo battles, it does make a difference.
So someone, Zombie with a Cat asks, I'm trying to play better Rushdown Peacock. Any tips? I use Parasol's Napalm Pillar as an assist. I guess this is mostly a question for me and TJ Gamer. You want to play a more Rushdown Peacock. I guess my first impression would be why. Because Peacock's already good at zoning. But I guess to play a better Rushdown Peacock, I guess you would play, especially with Napalm Pillar as an assist, you would play generally like any other Rushdown character, where you would get in and then call your assist, and then, like, I guess do bang combo. It's kind of hard to convert off of Napalm Pillar with Peacock because her ground dash is really slow, so it's kind of hard to like go in and do something, whereas you pretty much have to like use projectiles and be full screen at some point if you're playing Peacock, like, and then you can use her tools to you already play a good zoning Peacock, so you just want to work on your close range game pretty much. What do you want to say, TJ?
Well, I mean, I like to go in pretty offensively, especially against the more heavier rushdown characters, and I recommend jumping in with her jumping light punch into her jumping light kick, and if that connects, you can use the 3 hits from the light kick to confirm into a combo, and I find that's actually really good to just go in against characters that like to jump a lot, like Philia or Valentine.
Well,
And
actually,
it's even better if you have an item drop held behind you.
yeah, actually, yeah. You and Nagus brought up the item drop. Basically, you can hold M item drop and just like go in and
Pretty
just
much.
like do whatever. But good normals are, if they're on the ground and you're in the air, jump light kick. If you're doing air to air, then I would say use jump light punch if you can time it or if you're close enough to them. But if you're not sure, then I would use jump medium punch, because both of those moves are disjointed and will tag the opponent out of most anything unless they outrange you. And also, don't forget about jump medium kick. Because I completely, like, so when starting out with Peacock, I pretty much completely forgot about jump medium kick. But it's actually a really good, like, lockdown move when you're on the offensive. So you'd use jump medium kick, and then you air dash and do, like, jump light punch or something. And then you can, like, start a block string, call assist, and then, like, do whatever. And actually, for runaway too, if they're like running at you on the ground, you can use jump medium punch to tag them, and it stops them. So like these are like jump light punch, light kick, jump medium punch, and medium kick are good neutral tools to use. Um, when being on the offensive or like at neutral.
Another good idea is if you can lock them down with either the iron drop or with her jumping medium kick. Yeah, I find it's actually pretty good to dash over them and then use her jumping heavy kick. Because when the thing comes down, you can get like a throw or low mix up.
Oh yeah, jump hard kick is also a good pressure tool because then it gives you a mix up. But the thing with jump hard kick is that if you use any other move that takes Avery out of your hat, then it cancels the projectile. So jumping light kick and crouching light kick are both moves that will negate the Avery hits. So you have to make sure you use other moves in order to continue pressure. I think that's everything, unless you can elaborate. Yeah. So Mr. Money asks, Wing Zero, any tips on filling a neutral game? I tend to just instant air dash, jump hard punch a lot, and occasionally toss a ringlet for long range poke.
Okay. A lot of affiliate players do that. Do just IAD and the jumping heavy punch. It's kind of something that you see on a regular basis. I kind of tend to don't do that because at first I couldn't really IAD, so I would stick to using jumping MK hairball a lot. And it turned out to be a lot more useful because people didn't know how to punish it at first. The tip I can give for Philia at the moment is use a bit more mix-ups because a lot of people, everyone does that, and the way I deal with Philias who constantly just go in with that is just throw scaffolds on Valentine or updo them. Pretty much, if you have problems getting in, it all depends on more mix-ups. If there's always just tick throwing, a lot of people do not expect Philia to tick throw. They don't expect her to run up and crouch jab and go straight into throw. They normally expect her to do exactly what you're doing. It's just constantly using IAD and jumping heavy punch. And that's okay. I mean, jumping heavy punch is good for spacing if you want to keep on pressure. But if they're just okay, this guy's just gonna constantly, so I can just up back for free. Definitely change it up a bit. I mean, don't ever be repetitive. Don't ever be repetitive with a character that has so much mix-up potential as Philia. That's the last thing you want to do.
Jump hard punch is actually much worse now than it used to be because the hitbox is different. It used to have a hitbox that was lower and had a hitbox behind her, so you could hit people pretty quickly with it because the hitbox was so far out. But now it takes way longer for the jump hard punch to actually connect because the hitbox is much smaller, and you have that entire vulnerable platform under the hitbox. You can get instant air. You can get anti-aired really easily by spamming, especially spamming instant air dash hard punch. Like I mentioned earlier, I think people should be doing more with Philia is using jump light punch in her neutral game because it's disjointed and you can cancel it into whatever else. So if you tag someone with it, whether it's on hit or block, then you can go into combo or you get to pressure them. So if you want to instant air dash, then you could instant air dash light punch light kick. And then that creates your pressure, and then you can go in and do mix-ups.
What's a good follow? Oh, go ahead.
One thing I was gonna add is because people get so used to you doing instant air dash, light kick, or heavy punch, you do instant air dash, throw whiff, and then go low. That's really good. People fall for it all the time. Or you can jump instant air dash and throw whiff and end up on the other side of them, and it's a cross up low, so no one's gonna block that.
That's for offense though.
Well, yeah, but
He's
okay,
he's
but
asking
not
about
the cross.
neutral
Okay,
game.
okay, but in a neutral game though, get them conditioned to block high over and over again and then go low. Because people are gonna be used to like, oh, you're just gonna instant air dash, I'm gonna block it. Or after a while, they're gonna go once they get your rhythm when you're gonna do it, they'll punish. But if you mix it up with a throw whiff, then you can mess up their rhythm. And then also, a lot of affiliates don't really wave dash. They only jump in the air and air dash. Wave dashing is a good way to like keep your opponent on their toes because affiliate has more mobility options than just jump in the air dash or jump in the air hairball. So you should use all of her mobility.
Actually, to go back to tips for helping people get better, I think more people should be doing, because you can block during forward dash. So I think more people should actually be doing that. So you hit 2 punches or you double tap forward to initiate the dash, and then there's a minimum distance that it covers before it stops. So you can just initiate the dash, then hold back to block, and then you'll block like whatever they try to hit at you, unless they like obviously go high or low if you're not blocking the proper direction. But you get to block while dashing forward, so that's really good. And about your follow-up, you can block during the entire dash. You can just hit 2 punches and hold back, and you're blocking the entire time.
Yeah, that's why wave dashing is a good method to move around, because if you instant air dash, they can hit you. But if you're wave dashing, you can block at any time.
Yeah.
Like long as you're not like turning off your brain while you're wave dashing.
And to answer your follow-up question, what's a good follow-up example for the jump light punch? If you like, similar to how Parasol does jump light punch hard punch, if you do jump light punch medium kick, it keeps them in block stun, and then from there you can air dash, or you can like do another move. If you hit, you can go into a combo by doing like HK hairball, dash cancel, and then you do your moves into whatever combo. But if they block it, then you can air dash and continue pressure with like jump medium punch or whatever, and then you basically get to start your pressure game if you tag them with an air-to-air jump light punch chained into your medium kick. One thing about wave dashing backwards is that you can't. It's hard because you can't cancel it by hitting down back.
Yeah.
Which I kind of find annoying.
I actually like spent a good week learning how to wave dash backwards.
Like, it's easy to wave dash forward because you don't have to hit any direction to initiate the dash. You just hit 2 punches and then cancel it with down. But in order to backward wave dash, then you have to hold back and then hit down back. But in order to do it in Skullgirls, because you can't cancel it with down back, you have to hold back,
Neutral, down, back,
down,
neutral,
and then back. And then because you're hitting 2 punches all the time, you can accidentally get level 3. So that's the main reason why I think that's annoying, and I would rather it be cancelable by down back. So does anyone else have any other questions that they want to ask? Painsley, do you have any questions you want to ask?
Oh boy. One Skullgirls. What the heck? Tips for
getting into Peacock obstacles with Fortune.
That's all you, World Gem.
Okay. She has a gap between her light kick and hard kick bombs. If she does light kick, hard kick, you can just jump through it a lot of the time. Like, the main thing is that, like, if you're at full screen, you can just super jump over her bombs. It's the item jump you really really have to worry about. So if you can just pick your moments, find your gaps, and just wait for the item drop and then jump over the bombs, then you should be able to get in pretty well. And also, don't be afraid to dash forward sometimes, because people are like, a lot of the time people are so conditioned to jump over the bombs that they just jump like all the time, even if I'm like not throwing bombs or like doing projectiles at them, they'll just keep jumping, and so that means I can like air backdash or like call assist or whatever. But if you dash forward, like with Valentine, or well, I guess with Fortune too, you could probably dash faster toward Peacock and get her while she's trying to do stuff. So you also have to remember that you can go under her if she's in the air as well as going over her, because like people get conditioned to only jump, so then you think too linearly and you think, oh man, I can only jump, and you don't notice the other holes that may be in her bomb string or whatever. And also the head. The head is a really good tool. If you can get the head near her, then she pretty much has to block. And the head, also, if you have the life for it, the head can take care of the ground bombs for you, so then you only have to worry about the airplane bomb and item drop. Okay. Does anyone else have any more questions? Actually, TJ Gamer, what do you think? Tips on getting in on Peacock with Fortune.
Well, as you said, most of the time to look out for the George the Airshow bomb. That and item drop are really all you have to worry about. Like, for example, what I do against Fortune is that I purposely call only the ground bombs. I don't worry about the air bomb, so I can do as much damage as possible to her head.
Yeah.
Keep the head busy, and then try to meet up with Miss Fortune in the air and keep her away with usually like the jump heavy punch, that kind of thing. Just get 2 of those out and keep the bombs out. It's more just like slowly poking at her.
Yeah. So the head is good if you can get near her, but if you have it off and it's like full screen, then it's a liability that like you should probably just put back on. I think we talked about this before. When the PS3 patch comes out, are you going PS3 exclusively or switching between PC and PS3? Me, I'm pretty much going to go and play on both. But I'm kind of want to play on PS3 more because I'm hoping that it'll be more consistent with the net play quality. But other than that, there's not really much difference. For me, I'll play on both. What about you guys?
For me, I'm definitely going back to PS3. My laptop is not a gaming computer, and like every now and then, even on the training mode, there will be like they'll show for some little lag. I'm like, enough of this. So I'm for sure definitely going back to PS3 the second it drops, because I'm just playing with consistency for one.
I'm going exclusively PS3. Never to see PC ever again.
And I guess TJ. I was just gonna say, and I guess TJ, you're gonna be on PS3 because you can't run it.
Yeah, I don't really touch the PC version at all.
Yeah. All right. I think I'll stop here now. So thanks everyone for watching, and thanks guests for coming and talking with everyone. So
not a problem.
All right. So see you next time on episode 3 for Skullcasts. Good night.
Bye.